the entrepreneurship, because that's really an explosion. Because entrepreneurship means having eyes, having spectacles to see opportunities where they are. And you find there are so many people who have got opportunities, but they can't see them because they don't have the spectacles to do so. But that word binary is normally used for nuclear physics, for atomic bombs. So what you have here is an atomic bomb in the form of this university. I think that's how they are able to use their system to identify Maama far away from Malaysia and see the great work she's doing. I had never heard of them, I just saw them here now. But from the words, I could see how dangerously useful they are. Most likely to be pathfinders. You know, pathfinders are always pioneers of efforts. They are always rare. So I therefore congratulate Maama on this award, International Women Icon Award. She deserves it. She deserves it. She started a movement of philanthropic actors in Uganda here. And then, later on, I didn't know this one, she added another attribute: political actor without cheap popularity. When she went for politics, which I didn't support initially, she wants this to be done, it should be done. She doesn't care about our cheap politics of pleasing this one, pleasing that one. No, it is correct, it must be done that way. So, and it worked in Rahama County, it worked. So it is doing politics in the real idealistic and enlightened way, rather than this politics of massaging mistakes, massaging this and that and that. That is another angle I have seen in her work. And because of those prayers, like if you take her sector, the one of sports and education, sports, Uganda now is a big name internationally for sports in her time, during her time. But if we have not done so much for sport. We have done a few things, a few stadiums here and there. But these talents come up and you find they shine. They shine even when we have not done so much. That is partly because of the prayer of Maama, which she does with her teams. All the time she's praying for our people. So therefore, I salute the Malaysian University for identifying the big contribution of Maama here in Uganda, so far away. But of course, I start with saluting Maama for being there for Uganda all this time when she has been working alongside me in our struggles. When she went to Karamoja, there are some other people I had appointed to go there who said, no, Karamoja is not high enough for me to go there. Some of the people didn't want to go to Karamoja. For her, she was very eager to go. And people who look for favors from God, there's no way God can fail to favor such a person. Because Jesus is very dangerous. He says things which are very, very serious if you listen carefully. Because Jesus said one time, somewhere in the Bible, it says, when I was thirsty, you didn't give me water. And then somebody said, but when did we deny you water? Then he said, when you denied it, that one who needed water, who was thirsty, you denied it to me. Can you imagine? Very dangerous. That by not helping people who are in need, you are denying God help. You are not denying. Do you read the Bible, which is in Matthew?
I thank the leadership of Pioneer University, Malaysia, led by the founder and chairman, Professor Joseph Ida Kalam, for allowing God to use you to recognize my humble contribution to my homeland. Because there is just no other way you would have found me on planet Earth. Thank you, therefore, for coming all the way from Malaysia to confer this noble award upon me. This award is simply testament to the goodness of the Lord in my life, as He alone has enabled and empowered me to serve Him. My life when our family was in exile, God would surprise me from time to time. He would always reveal to me that He is God and that He cares. He cares for those who are probably not known, not heard of so often, but God knows every one of us. Please remember that. Every one of us by name, while living in His wake, the burden of orphans, widows, and child-headed households. That is the time when my memory took me back to my own years of wandering as a refugee with our 4 children, always in my hands. With tears running down my face, I promised God at that time that I would not just sit at home and feed my children while the children whose parents had died in war cried for help in vain. It was God waking me up to that memory that helped me to start an organization that would care for orphans. We call that organization the Uganda Women's Effort to Save Orphans. I say we called it because I did not start that organization alone. But God brought to me other like-minded women with whom we had to hold hands to start to wrestle in a very difficult time. People were just coming back from exile. They had been refugees. They didn't have that much for their own families, but they were all determined to do something about those of our people who were suffering. Today, this organization is proud to have rescued, rehabilitated, and provided holistically and gave care to hundreds of orphans We did not only work alone as Uweso by starting a school, but also helped many schools to educate orphans that had found wings of shelter and winds of hope under what God was doing through this organization. I'm humbled to have made some contribution to the social and economic transformation of the people in that region by the grace of God. And now, as minister responsible for education and sports, my focus is on ensuring access to education, preferably a holistic education for every child of school-going age. As I said in a recent interview in a national newspaper, if a child, a Ugandan child, leaves our schools more disciplined, more skilled, ethical, and more hopeful, then I have done my duty to Uganda. It's a type of AIDS. We call it the acquired integrity deficiency syndrome. That is eating up our nation. By the grace of God, that same God, I have committed myself once again to this cause so that the generation after us will find that will find not just an economically different country, but an ethical and integral homeland. And I know that it is possible because there are many of us who believe that.